Welcome to my presentation, Vodcasts for Class, how we can maximize class time and enhance good teaching. Oh yeah, and meet some of our IP21 goals too. Recently I started making vodcasts, or video podcasts, in order to flip my classes. Why, you might ask? Well, before we answer that, let me ask you another couple questions. What's unique about the classroom? And what's the essence of good teaching? Well, classrooms are inherently social, and teaching is best when it's personal. Teaching is about making connections with students, figuring out where your students are and meeting them there, helping students make connections between the new material and what they already know, between the real world and the curriculum. Now think about how you spend your time in class. If you're like me, you spend a lot of your time in class like this. And how about your students? How do they spend their time working outside of class? What types of tasks are they doing in each situation? What are we asking of them? Now I know that lectures become a dirty word because it's passive, it's boring. But I'm not ready to abandon lecture altogether because it's an efficient way of covering content. And while we know that covering content is not discovering or uncovering concepts, there are times when we need to get through material so that we have the working knowledge with which to do the discovery. So we lecture in class and we send kids home to do problems or to read more about what we've lectured. We give them projects to do away from school, and then we run out of time to have discussions in class. We run out of time for them to ask questions. We run out of time to have those days to get off topic or to dig deeper into a subject without feeling like we're not going to get through our curriculum. We're missing out on the social benefit of the classroom where students can learn from one another. We're failing to maximize the connection between the teacher and the student. What if we flip class? What if classwork were delivered at home and homework were done at class? What would that look like? Stop this video now and list all the things you do during your class that you'd like the students to have done before they come into class. And write down what types of tasks we ask students to do that they need us present for. So what did you come up with? How can we use vodcasts to make better use of our in-class time? Bring your ideas to our session and share them with the group. I'm using vodcasts for time conservation. They allow me to free up class time for social interaction. Sometimes you just have to get information to your students. It's not really stuff you discuss. It's not a back and forth. Just information you need them to have. Sure, they could read their textbooks, but sometimes they need to hear your explanation to reinforce the book. Now, in a moment, you're going to see in the background, you won't hear it, but you'll see as I'm talking, a video I made for my students on the immune system. Now, sometimes when I'm delivering this information, it's just information. It's just that. Now, I can take what the textbook says and try to say it in a better way, often adding diagrams and drawings on the board, or analogies and metaphors to help their understanding. But for students, this is passive learning. We deliver and they receive. It's just data. And it can be a waste of class time. In class, we have the unique environment of having the student-teacher interaction and the student-student interaction. This type of information delivery doesn't use or require that social interaction, so I'm delivering some of it at home. Then class time can be saved for working or applying the information, or for discussion of the issues around the information. To make this type of exercise less passive, I instruct the students to engage. I may have them stop the video and write down the answer to a question that I've posed, or have them write down and bring into class questions that they have based on the video. For example, I've done this. I've said stop the video and five examples of how form relates to function in and around your house. I've also quizzed them on the contents of the video. This makes them responsible for the information, and I think it's a great way to move the mechanical instruction out of class time. Besides content delivery, I've used these videos for test review. My students say, "Are you going to make us a review sheet?" I said, "No, I'll do you one better. I made a test review video that did via video what I would have done in class, or included on a handout. I recapped the lessons and posed questions. I delivered sample test problems with and without solutions. You could combine this with a wiki page where students could post questions and comments." What about other uses? How about pre-lab instructions? Having that done before they get into class could save a lot of time that you could have to do the labs. And how about this? Last year, during our snow days, I could have been creating and posting podcasts and have students prepared for their return, or even have them complete and email assignments over the break. What about pre-planned absences when you know you're going to miss school? Could you be your own guest teacher? What other ideas do you have about how to use Vodcast for class? I hope that in our session we can discuss other effective ways to use this technology to enhance our teaching, to flip our classes. How about some tips? I've been using Screencast-O-Matic as the software. It's a free software to make my screen captures, to make my videos. And through doing this, I've come up with a few tips that I think are helpful. 1. Have a plan. I use my smartboard and the notebook software, and I create a simple script to follow. You can actually write a script and record it ahead of time and have it play over the screencast as you draw or show your slides. 2. Use the pause button. If you need to collect your thoughts or change your screen, just pause and do it. 3. A series of short videos is easier than one long one. I find that they're easier to upload. If you mess up and you want to start over, you have less to do. And I think that students are more willing to watch 2 10-minute videos than one 20-minute video. Find a quiet place. You can work from home or school, but make sure you won't be interrupted. 5. Try to make them interactive. Have the students write down questions or bring in prompts based on the videos. You could even have them take a quiz based on the video. Finding ways to make them interactive is going to be a big part of our discussion on our workday. And finally, according to my students, I need to give up on the corny jokes. They're not near as funny via video. Well, what do you do after you've made your video? How do you post it? Well, you can upload it directly to YouTube or to another server like Screencast-O-Matic, and then you can embed the video right into your Google site page. This is what my page looks like for my AP Biology class, and you can see that I've embedded the videos that I've made on ecology right here. It makes it easier for them to find, and then later you can catalog them. I also have my own YouTube channel, but I don't need the students to have to go to YouTube. I can embed them right here on my Google Sites page. Well, what are your expectations? How do we hold the kids accountable? This is an area that I hope we can discuss during our session. So far, I've given quizzes based on the content. I've required students to bring in questions to the next class. I've thought about having students post questions and feedback to a wiki page. What ideas do you have? Write down 3 strategies you propose for holding students accountable for watching the videos. Bring these ideas to our meeting. Well, the other question is, how are they being received? So far, my students have been very positive, except apparently I have kind of a creepy video voice. One student commenting on the test review video I made said, "It's very helpful because it helped take me through the process of review. It helped me know what to study." Another student from my AP Biology class said, "Helpful." Back that one up a little bit. "Helpful. It explains more than notes can, and it was nice to be able to pause and write things down. Virtual Savage has a pause button." And finally, I got this feedback. At first I thought I would not like the test review videos, but I was completely wrong. It's a new and very creative way to study. I felt that it is a really good way to study, and it really helps me study because I can pause the video to study something multiple times, or pause it so if I have some time to write things down. Also, if I miss something or didn't really get something, I can play it back and listen to it again. I would recommend to keep using the videos as test reviews, unless the test results are not very good. The thing that I'm seeing from my students is that they like getting the information on their schedule. They may watch it in the middle of the night, or in the afternoon, or at lunch. Sometimes they're watching them on their phone as they come into class. They get upset with me if I've not gotten a video made that I said I would, or if I get a little bit behind schedule. It's also made it very easy for a student that's been out sick to get caught up, or to even stay up with the class from home. Now, I'm still a novice at this flipped class and video making, but I can show you the basics of how, and we can discuss the what and the why. I'm looking forward to our session. Please bring any and all observations and questions you may have. Also, if you have an idea that you want to get started on for making a video, bring it, and if we have time, we'll get it started. And don't forget your homework, as there may be a quiz.